Morning, Judge.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Fine, ma'am.
Off mute.
This is 240327FY. This is State of Michigan versus James Stamper. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Tom DePietro appearing on behalf of Mr. Stamper, who is with me here this morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Judge Donna Silva on behalf of the people, P87439.
Thank you, Ms. Oba. I'm sorry to interrupt your breakout rooms, but Mr. DePietro has logged on early. Mr. Stamper's preliminary examination was actually scheduled at 2 p.m. today. Good morning. But he reached out to the office and indicated that we would not be proceeding with the exam. Is that correct, Mr. DePietro?
That is correct, Your Honor.
How are we proceeding, sir?
We're prepared to waive the exam, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Stamper, would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Sir, you've had the opportunity to discuss this case with Mr. DePietro. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that you have an absolute right to have a preliminary examination where the prosecutor would have to show that both a crime had been committed and probable cause exists to believe that you were involved in the commission of that crime.
Yes, Your Honor.
And after having that conversation with Mr. DePietro, you wish to waive your right to have that examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, are you waiving this exam freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
You haven't been promised anything or threatened in any way to waive the exam?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Stamper, the court will find that you're freely and voluntarily waiving your right to have a preliminary examination in this matter. The next step in these proceedings is if Mr. DePietro consents to allow this court to sign your name and his name to the waiver form.
We do, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Soba, do the people have any objection to the waiver of the exam?
No objection, Judge.
The court will execute the waiver on behalf of all parties. Mr. Stamper, the next step in these proceedings is that you will be bound over as charged for arraignment on the information that will happen on July the 17th, 2024 at 9 a.m. at the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice. Your previously entered bond with any of its conditions will continue. Mr. DePietro, is there anything else on behalf of your client, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else on behalf of the people?
Nothing further, Judge.
Thank you. That concludes this matter. Thank you, Mr. DePietro, for getting on so early. Mr. Stamper, good luck to you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Take care.
You too. Mr. Glander, were you ready?
Judge, I am ready. This is an arraignment PCC. I'm retained on Michael Teen. He's in jail, Judge. I can waive his appearance. We just want to set a new PCC date, Judge.
Mr. Glander, your audio is not quite aligned with your video. Is Mr. Tree, you said he's in custody.
Yes. Yes. Can
Okay.
you hear me now, Judge?
I can hear you now.
Okay, good.
It doesn't look
yeah,
like
this
he's
is-
logged on yet.
Yeah, this is an arraignment PCC. I'm retained in the matter and I spoke with the prosecutor. I'm just asking for another PCC date, Judge. I could waive his appearance if that's allowable.
Not for an arraignment. If he's in custody, well, Wayne County Jail should be on and we can get him arraigned. So maybe let's get a few more cases done and let's see if we're able to get Mr. Teen on. Are we ready with Mr. Downey?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is 230846 FY, State of Michigan versus Tristan Downey. Your appearances.
Hi, Your Honor.
Would you state your name for me, sir?
Yeah, Tristan Downey.
Mr. Downey, I'm just waiting for the attorneys to put their appearances on.
Good morning, Judge Donna Soba on behalf of the people, P 87439.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Sahar Faraj appearing on behalf of Mr. Downey, who appears via Zoom. Mr. Downey, please state your name for the record.
Tristan Downey.
Thank you, Mr. Downey. Today is the end time scheduled for the PCC. Ms. Faraj, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we ask that this court set this for examination.
Is discovery complete?
I have not been in receipt of any digital discovery or paper discovery, Your Honor.
Judge, on behalf of the people, we have just shared paper. We did not have Ms. Faraj as attorney on record in our system or on the docket. It just said NDS. I just shared paper and have emailed the OIC for digital.
Ms. Faraj, even with discovery outstanding, you wish to demand an exam date? We will get a date for you. Give me one moment.
August 14th at 1 o'clock.
I'm sorry, is that the exam date, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
August 14th, Mr. Downey's in custody.
Is he only in custody because of this case?
Yeah, he says his bond is $10,000.
This court rotates off of the felony docket. So for the next 4 weeks, there are the other two judges in this building. I don't know if, give me one moment. Mary Ann, is Judge Oakley here?
I can check.
Would you please, and see if we could possibly use a date next week because of Mr. Downey's custody status?
Yes. Judge, I don't believe he's here. His last exam on that day is at 1 o'clock.
Ma'am, I would try to get it on for next week, but Judge Oakley is not here and I can't set on his docket without his consent. His secretary is also not here. August the 14th at 1 PM is our next available date. If there's some argument you'd like to make, I'm happy to hear it this morning.
For his release, Your Honor, or for
Yes.
So, Your Honor, Mr. Downey is only charged with police resisting an obstruction. At this point in time, Your Honor, he does demonstrate, I don't believe he has a history of failure to appear, and,
Ma'am?
his,
You walking is messing up the record. You're cutting in and out.
I apologize, Your Honor.
No worries.
We're asking that the court set a personal bond or at least reduce it to an amount that Mr. Downey can afford. And due to the exam date, Your Honor, being outside of the 21 days that he has a statutory right to be heard, we ask for his release during this time.
Ms. Silva?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Downey is currently charged with an R&O. And just looking at one moment, Judge. I'm just trying to pull up the criminal history. Oh, he does not have any. He has one prior felony, a larceny from 2014, as well as a prior misdemeanor from 2014, and a prior felony again from 2015, a retail fraud second from 2017, and this is just the first few pages. So given his history, the people do object to any release and would like to address bond if the defense would like to bring it up again, to do so at exam. But for now, just to ensure that he is there for the exam, given his criminal history, it would be better for him to appear for the exam and remain as is.
Ms. Raj, I'm looking at the the bond information. It appears that Mr. Downey is reported to have outstanding warrants for retail fraud, possession of marijuana, another retail fraud, a third retail fraud, currently on parole or probation from 6th Circuit Court, 43rd District Court, homeless, and has some other issues. Let's try a different date. Mary Ann, we'll try that next week date at 1:30. Are you available next Wednesday, Ms. Faraj?
I'll make myself available, Your Honor.
7:10 at 1:30 PM. Mary Ann, we need to, we get a recess, we need to get with Mariah and Judge Oakley and see if we can make sure we can use that date. 7:10 at 1:30
Thank you, Judge.
in courtroom number 1. Was there anything else, Ms. Soba?
Nothing from the people, Judge. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Faraj?
Nothing further from defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck to you, Mr. Downey. I'll see you next week.
Your Honor, I do have another matter up as well for PCC.
What's the other matter, ma'am?
The last name is Ray, R-A-E. We can waive his presence. He's not in custody.
I hate to interrupt, but before the jail goes, I was going to ask them about Michael T. You see my message, Judge?
I saw your message and I was just going to ask you
Okay.
about that.
Yep.
If they need something from us.
There was an officer there.
I know, I'm hoping they come back. Let's see. Wayne County? Is Ms. Ray here?
Good morning,
Ms.
Your
Rush,
Honor.
that case isn't scheduled to, oh, good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing great.
I need some help, please.
No problem.
We have a Michael Teen scheduled at 8:30. It does not look as if the court sent over what you need to get him in front of the camera. Can you provide us some assistance if there's something we can send or if Mr. Teen's available?
We just don't have, because on ours it said 10:30, but we can get him for you, Your Honor.
You have
Yeah, I'm
Teen
not-
at 10:30?
I'm unavailable at 10:30, Judge, but
If you need us to, Your Honor, we can grab him now.
I'd appreciate it so much.
No problem. Just give us 5 minutes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Ms. Farage, I was asking about Ray. It's scheduled at 9 o'clock. It's not quite 9 o'clock. Were you expecting your client this morning?
I was not expecting my client. I have an exam to walk into at 9 o'clock, so I might have to log off soon with the court.
Understood. Have you talked to Ms. Soba about Ms. Ray?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
Oh,
Judge, we have
two-
talked.
240553 FY State of Michigan versus Ray.
Good morning, Donna Silva on behalf of the people, P87439.
Good morning, Attorney Sahar Faraj appearing on behalf of Ms. Ray. For the purposes of this PCC, Your Honor, we ask that the court waive her presence.
Any objection from the people?
No objection, Judge.
Thank you. This PCC, Ms. Farage, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we ask that the court set this for examination.
Mary Ann, is August the 14th our next date?
That is correct.
August the 7th is full.
That's correct, Judge.
8:14, we have to go earlier than 1 PM.
You already have. You're already starting at 11:30.
We're starting at 11:30 and we already are at the 1 PM slot.
That's correct.
Let's 1 PM, and then you and I will have to talk because of your message. Live exam, August 14th, 2024 at 1 PM. Is discovery complete, Ms. Farage?
Your Honor, we asked for digital discovery to be sent over as well as written discovery.
Judge, it
Anything
has
else,
been
Ms.
shared.
Farage? Oh, go ahead.
Paper and digital has both been shared with Ms. Faraj.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good
Nothing
luck
from-
downtown. Take care. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Everyone have a good day.
You too.
Mary Ann, we gotta figure this out. Mr. Nasir?
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
I am super. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you, Judge.
Is Mr. Washington with you?
No, Mr. Washington's actually at my office. He should be on Zoom momentarily if he's not already on.
I don't see him. Let's see. Have you already spoken to the prosecutor?
I have, Judge. We just got retained yesterday late afternoon, so we're going to be...
Give me, as soon as your client gets here, I'll get the case called and get you on with your day.
I'm going to call him right now, Judge. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ms. Richards, are we ready with Mr. Bartell?
Your Honor, I was hoping I could maybe talk with the prosecutor for a moment.
Oh, absolutely.
That's APA Mandernach.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Good morning, Judge. Mr. Washington is on now.
Yes, Mr. Nasser. I'm trying to get one person connected. Mr. Teen and Mr. Glanda?
Well, I mean, why not? Why you think that? It's just actually feeling like.
Yes, Judge.
This is 230755 FY, State of Michigan versus Michael Teen. Your appearances
Morning, Judge. Richard Glenn from Mr. Teen. He's on the call, ma'am.
My address,
Your name, sir?
you're gonna make up some place, you know what I mean? 'Cause you know
Mr.
it-
Teen, state your name for the record.
Michael Teen.
Thank you. Today is the day and time scheduled for the arraignment and pretrial. Mr. Glanda, how are we proceeding?
Judge, I'd waive the reading of the complaint warrant and stand mute, ma'am. We could schedule a PCC for 2 weeks, the 17th. I have discovery. I've seen my client. I'm retained, but I'd like to see him once again to discuss the matter.
They didn't even let me know yet. Yeah, it's there. You know, it don't matter, I can't make mine up. You know what I mean? I'll check
Mhm. Mr. Glanda, the bond recommendation is for 10,000 cash. Your position as to bond.
Judge, I'd ask for a reduction in the bond to a personal bond. My client has a number of medical issues that he's dealing with, Judge, at the jail. He's not getting proper attention. I'm retained in the matter. I don't believe there's any history of capias. I'm asking for a personal bond. It's a non-assaultive offense. It was a knife that was found in the car.
Bond is set at 5,000 personal. Adjourn PCC date 2 weeks from today is.
And that would be at what time and by Zoom, Judge?
I'm just waiting to get a time from Mary Ann. Give me a moment, sir.
At 8:45.
8:45 on July the 17th. That's in courtroom number 2, in person with Judge Oakley.
All right, thank you.
Wait, Mr. Glanda, your client has another outstanding warrant and 230312 OM Van Buren Township. This is a retail fraud case from April of 2023. The court will recall the warrant in that case. Give Mary Ann 1 moment. We'll get a Van Buren date for him.
All right, I'm not currently representing him on that matter, though, Judge.
I'm sorry?
I'm currently not representing him on that matter. I was unaware of that matter.
I understand. Well, do you want me to leave the warrant in place?
You got it.
No, you could take it off, I suppose. Yeah, you could withdraw it.
July 18th at 9 o'clock, Judge.
Yeah, before you go, I should be able to, I know you. gonna-
Mr. Glanda, we will not add you as the attorney of record. We'll just have you for purposes of the arraignment to recall the bonds, recall the warrant, set the bond at 3,000 personal for the misdemeanor matter. Set it for pretrial on July 18th at 9 a.m. That's on Zoom with me. Notice will be sent to Mr. Teen at the address we have for him on the court file. We'll recall the warrant in the other case too. Is there
Judge, and if
anything
I-
else for Mr. Teen?
Yes,
just have a
ma'am.
question, Your Honor.
If I am to appear on that, what is the case number?
If you have to appear on the misdemeanor, it's 230312 OM.
Thank you.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you.
Ms. Richards, did you have a chance to speak to the prosecutor regarding Mr. Bartel?
Yes, I did, and we are now ready to proceed.
230397 FY, State of Michigan versus Eric Bartel.
Good morning, Your Honor. Patricia Mandernack for the people, P84088.
Good morning, Your Honor. Neighborhood Defender Service of Detroit by Nancy Richards, P68850, appearing on behalf of Mr. Bartel, who is present via Zoom at the Washtenaw County Jail.
Sir, would you state your name for me, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Eric Edward Bartel.
Thank you, Mr. Bartel. Today is the day and time scheduled for the PCC. Ms. Richards, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I believe I have all discovery at this time, so we are requesting a preliminary exam date.
That exam date will be,
Judges, August 14th, still okay with you?
I was trying to see what we have earlier.
I'll be out of town that week, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
September
Then
8th
we're,
at 1:30.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was the date?
September 18th.
That date is available. Is there anything sooner than that, though, given that my client's in custody?
Okay. I don't think so. I was trying to look at that August 7th date, Mary Ann. I don't know.
Yes, and they're playing games with her. So she needs to call the police. No.
7th is a good date, Your Honor, if that's available.
I'm sorry, Ms. Richards.
I said the 7th is a good date if that's available.
I can't see the schedule from where I'm sitting. So if you give me one moment, I'm trying to confer with Mary Ann about it.
You are, you really don't have any wiggle room on that day.
Because at this point, this is about my decision making. They don't have any right to keep her like that.
Ms. Richards, that's the problem. We're full up on the 7th.
Okay.
And then we're not back on criminal until September 18th or September 25th. We don't have anything sooner.
I guess the September 18th date then, if that's the first available.
September 18th at 1:30 p.m. That's here in courtroom number 1.
Okay.
Was there anything else, Ms. Mandernack?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Richards?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Richards, there's a misdemeanor driving while license suspended warrant. I know that your office does not handle warrants, but I want to make you aware of it. This is 21 HR 01495 AOT. The court will recall the warrant. Reset the bond in this case at 1,000 personal. He had previously entered a plea of not guilty to the underlying driving while license suspended charges. We'll get a hearing date for him and send it to the verified address that we have for him.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Give me 1 minute, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Bellamy is the last name, Monte or Montez.
Montez.
Montez. The last name is Bellamy.
July 25th at 9 o'clock with Judge Oakley.
July 25th at 9 a.m. with Judge Oakley. Thank you, Ms. Richards. Mr. Bartell, good luck to you, sir. You're free to go. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
This is 240461 FD. This is State of Michigan versus Terry Washington. Your appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning. For staff, may it please this most honorable court, Mohammed Nasser, P74485, appearing on behalf and with Mr. Terry Washington, who appears via Zoom, consents to the hearing over Zoom. Mr. Washington, please state your full name for the record.
Terry Darnell Washington.
Thank you. Today's the day and time schedule for the PCC. How are we proceeding?
Judge, I've had an opportunity to speak to the prosecutor. We just got retained on this matter yesterday late afternoon. I believe the prosecutor has just sent the discovery, so we need the opportunity to review, possibly request some additional discovery. My client's aware that he has the right to a preliminary exam within 21 days of the date of the arraignment. he knowingly, willingly, and voluntarily wishes to waive that timeline so we can get up to speed. I'd ask for a new PCC. I'd ask for about 2 to 3 weeks, Judge.
2 or 3, you tell me, sir.
3 weeks, Judge, please.
That puts us on July the 24th
Perfect, Judge. Thank you.
8:45.
Yes, ma'am.
at 8:45. That is by Zoom, and number 3 with Judge Green.
Yes, Judge.
Anything else, Mr. Nesser?
Not from defense. We thank this honorable court. Always a pleasure, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Washington, you're free to go. You have a good day, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
This is 240540 FY, State of Michigan versus Michael Faze.
Good morning, Your Honor. DeRay Elder, on behalf of Mr. Fies. My P number is 57728, Your Honor.
State your name for me, please, sir.
DeRay Elder.
No, sir, your client.
Mr. Fies.
Michael Faze.
Thank you. Today is the day and time scheduled for the PCC in this matter. How are we proceeding, Mr. Elder?
Yeah, no, I was just recently retained. I don't have discovery. I'm asking the court to allow me to maybe go to the PCC date to make sure I have all discovery or set an exam date, whichever the court prefers.
How long of an adjournment are you looking for discovery, sir?
Your Honor, 2 weeks, would that work?
Absolutely.
At 8:45, July 17th.
July 17th at 8:45. That's in person in courtroom number 2 with Judge Oakley.
Is that a PCC?
Yes, sir.
8:45.
Anything else, Mr. Elder?
No, Judge. Have a great day. Have a great holiday.
Thank you.
Staff.
You too.
Thank you.
DeRay.
Hold on. I'll call you. Judge, one last thing. I apologize, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Faez is a truck driver. Your Honor, there's an order that does not allow him to travel out of state. He does have contracts, Your Honor, where he delivers products for companies as his truck driver to as far as Texas. I'm asking the court to allow him to travel for work. Your Honor, he hasn't had contact with the law in over 10 years. I've known Mr. Faez for quite some time, Your Honor. He's a family man, and I do know, Your Honor, he's not a threat to society nor a threat to the public. He's appeared at all his court dates. He owns his own company. He's owned it for a number of years. He has about.
I'm sorry, Mr. Elder. I'm just looking at the criminal history that's in the file. The court's going to deny the request at this time based on what's on the criminal history. If you want to take it up with Judge Oakley in 2 weeks, feel free. But for right now, we'll deny that request.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a good day, sir.
Yep.
One 72108 SD, State of Michigan versus Nicholas Battle. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Brian Montoy, P 74163 on behalf of Nicholas Battle. Nicholas, state your name for the court, please.
Nicholas Adam Battle.
Thank you, Mr. Battle. Mr. Montoy, today is the day and time scheduled for the pretrial in this matter. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, the parties are requesting an adjournment. It's an unusual matter. I'll try to make it short. The case was, it's an older case, as you can see. It was submitted to both the state and to Van Buren Township, the same charge. So those two prosecutors have to figure out what's going on and decide who's going to go forward and who is not. The other matter, he's appeared on both matters already. The other matter is scheduled for the 18th. I would ask for an adjournment to July 31. I know that's a long time, but I need to let those two sides talk to each other and decide, which one's going forward.
Pretrial on July the 31st. Let's get a time. Give me a moment, please, sir.
Thank
9
you.
o'clock. 9 o'clock.
9 a.m. on July 31st. That's by Zoom in number 3 with Judge Green. Is there anything else, Mr. Montoy?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're very welcome. The only outstanding matter is Mr. Battle owes some money for some 2016 tickets. If he has not already done so, he should contact the court's collection department. He may do that by coming in person. He may call and speak to staff, or he can go onto the court's website. There's a contact us button. If he clicks on that, he may submit a request for a payment plan or make payment in full for the $180 on the already disposition cases.
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Montoy. Mr. Battle, you have a good day. You're free to go, sir. Ms. Ray,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome, sir. Ma'am, your attorney already appeared. Ms. Ray?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said your attorney already appeared. Your case has been reset to August the 14th at 1 p.m.
Say August what? August what? 14?
August 14th at 1 p.m. Are you still at the address on Dexter?
Yes.
Notice will be mailed to you with that new date and time.
That's when my next court is.
Yes.
That's when I have to meet with you again.
You have to be here in person on that day.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
What time? 1 o'clock.
Thank you, sir.
Or 1 p.m. Then you have to be at 12 something.
This is 4S4368142 ST. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we might just have felonies early. Yeah, we'll start scheduling the exams early. is what I'm saying. State of Michigan versus Melissa Kaiser. Ma'am, state your name for me, please.
Melissa Kaiser.
Ms. Kaiser, the way court staff have you labeled indicate that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, the court has received from the prosecutor indication that this case is being dismissed as you become compliant with the registration or plate.
Yes,
Is that your
ma'am.
understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
This case is dismissed. You're free to go. Ms. Kaiser, thank you for your patience. You have a great day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Marianne, that's what I was trying to ask you. I don't have. Oh, maybe that would help. I'm looking at both of those days. There's, the 7th is already bad. Shoot, we gotta figure something out. And the 14th, the prosecutor's office has training. Thank you. So we're supposed to, I think, be keeping our docket a little lighter.
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Doing well, thank you, on this wonderful July 3rd. Are you excited, Your Honor? 4-day weekend. Wait, are you guys open on Friday?
Absolutely not, ma'am.
Oh.
We are not open.
I was gonna say, absolutely. That's, Your Honor, we are ready on Mr. Bellamy.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm calling 23VB02373B. This is State of Michigan versus Montez Bellamy. Your appearances, please.
Crystal Marie Medina, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Bellamy. Mr. Bellamy, would you please state your full name for the record, sir?
Montez Bellamy.
Thank you, Mr. Bellamy. Today is the day and time scheduled for the pretrial in this case. Miss Show cause arraignment and pretrial. Miss Medina, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, as to the arraignment, we would waive formal reading and stand mute. As to the pretrial, at this time, my client is prepared to plead responsible to impeding traffic. In exchange, the original misdemeanor charge would be dismissed, is my understanding, Your Honor.
Mr. Bellamy, is that your understanding as well, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
The court has received from the prosecutor a signed indication that they will amend count 1 to impeding traffic with fines and costs. The court will adopt that agreement, have Mr. Bellamy plead responsible to the impeding traffic. Will assess fines and costs in the amount of $230. He's already posted bond of $150, which we may apply the bond. Mr. Bellamy, do you need more than 5 days to pay that balance?
No, ma'am.
Is there anything else, Ms. Medina?
No, Your Honor, thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Bellamy, that concludes this matter, sir. You have 5 days to pay the balance. You're free to go. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, let me take notes, because you're not going to talk.
This is 240516SM, State of Michigan versus Travis Bennett. May I have your appearance, please?
Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett, please say your name for the record.
Travis Lee Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Today is the day and time scheduled for the pretrial. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, at this time, we're just asking for an adjourned pretrial. I'm still working with the prosecution on for an offer and to get a digital discovery.
How long of an adjournment, Mr. Jadala?
What I did talk with the prosecutor. She saw August 14th was a good date. I don't know if that's a good date still with the court.
August 14th for PCC or for pretrial or trial?
for a pretrial, Judge.
Okay.
If that's too far out, Your Honor, we will take whatever the court deems appropriate.
Mr. Jadala, if the 14th works for you, it works for me. I'm here.
That'll be perfect, Judge.
We get a time for Mary Ann. Give us just a second.
8:45.
8:45 on August the 14th by Zoom with me, Judge Martin, on number 1. Was there anything else in this matter, Mr. Jadala?
That's it, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bennett, you're free to go, sir. Have a good day. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Remember to call me, Mr. Bennett.
Certainly.
Your Honor, a Mrs. Pamplin, I did see logged in, and I don't see her anymore.
A Mrs. what?
Pamplin, Pamplin.
She was not scheduled for today. It is something that we're looking into. She claims to have appeared, but we don't have a record of it previously and given this date. So we're working on that one, but it's not on today's.
Oh, that's what
Thanks,
the prosecutor
Carol.
said. That's what the prosecutor said, and I have it scheduled at 8:45, and I don't want to speak for the prosecutor, but she looked into it too.
Yeah, it's for some reason it's not on the docket, but in our notes it does say that it is up for final pretrial today, but there was nothing on the docket or in our system for this date except a note.
Yeah, she came in and I looked at it. I pulled the file and there's absolutely nothing on the file that says that she appeared. So I was going to have to check the record. But if you guys both have it, we're going to end up having to reschedule. I already let her go.
Oh, okay. Could we do that? Could we? I don't know if the court wants to call that. Maybe reschedule that for sometime soon.
I can't reschedule what I don't have scheduled. I mean, I would love to for you, Mr. Jadala, but
Rescheduling? Because so far we don't even have a next date.
I mean, I can, if you guys are okay, I can try to contact her and see if I can get her back on. But because I didn't have anything, I was going to have to check the record.
That's
And
okay.
and because I felt that you guys weren't prepared because it wasn't on the docket.
Carol, if you can get her back on and if you could have one of the officers run the file up, I'm happy to add it and call it.
Okay, absolutely. Give me just a moment.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
She's logging back in now.
Thank you. Ms. Sanderlin, we just don't have the file. Give us. Good morning, Jenny. Thank you. Ms. Soba, Mr. Jadala, the court has received 240529 SM. This was State of Michigan versus Santi Markham Pamplin.
Yes. Good morning, Judge Donna Soap on behalf of the people, P87439.
And respectfully, Your Honor, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Ms. Pamplin. Ms. Pamplin, unmute yourself and say your name, please.
Tanya Sanderlin. Tanya.
No, Ms. Pamplin, not you, Mrs. Sanderlin, Ms. Pamplin. Say your name.
Santi Markham Pamplin.
Thank you. Mr. Jadala, the court has the file now and the notes indicate that Ms. Markham Pamplin was scheduled for pretrial on June the 18th, but she failed to appear. The file was sent for warrant. I don't see that a new date was given, but inasmuch as the parties indicate that this was a date and time that was given, it's scheduled now as show cause arraignment pretrial. But Ms. Markham Pamplin was actually arraigned out county on June the 2nd. So, Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding?
Well, Your Honor, I would let this court know that she was on my state docket for, I want to say, June 12th, and we set it for today for a final pretrial where all witnesses had to appear. I believe the prosecutor concurs with that in her notes. Today is the date, according to my records, for a final pretrial. Complaining witnesses have failed to appear. I'd be moving for dismissal on this matter.
And Judge, for the record, our notes do indicate that today this case was set for a final pretrial. Our victim's advocate also had the file on hand, which indicates that they've done their due diligence and were prepared to go forward with this case, which typically entails mailing out notices to the victims. We've also made attempts to contact the victims, Stephanie Pamplin and Shani Pamplin. One line goes straight to voicemail. The other one, we got no response. So at this time, the people would ask for an adjournment and don't object to an adjournment.
Your Honor, with those,
Mr. Jadala, respectfully, the issue is that this court does not show it as being scheduled for final pretrial. And because this court cannot confirm that scheduling, we will adjourn the matter over. The question is, well, not adjourn, we'll set it for a final pretrial. The issue is 1 week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks.
Judge, who will be in the rotation during those weeks?
Judge Oakley for the next 2 weeks, the 10th and the 17th, and then Judge Green for the 24th and 31st.
We'd ask for the 24th if this court does not mind.
At 8:45, Judge.
8:45, final pretrial, July 24th at 8:45 a.m. That's in number 3 with Judge Green by Zoom. Complainants to appear. Anything else on behalf of the people?
Nothing from the people, Judge. Thank you.
Anything else on behalf of the defendant?
Your Honor, we thank you for your consideration in this matter, and I'd just like to speak with Ms. Markham Paplin in a breakout room briefly, just to explain what happened.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Jadala.
Absolutely.
Ms. Sanderlin, I called your name in error earlier. I see what case you're here for. That case was scheduled at 9:30. My policy is about 15 minutes after the scheduled start time. So if the party is not here, the defendant's not here by 9:45, I'll get the case call so you can get on with your day, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. We have to, yeah. Ideally by 10 o'clock, that's not happening. So I mean, as soon as we're done with the 1 o'clock. Well, why? Why? No, not why. I didn't mean. Why can't we move it back? Move it where? To like the 14th or. Right, hold on. Some of our exams. Yeah, we're doing it earlier. Yeah, I mean that, but I mean, because the one. On the 14th? When we're done. Well, yeah. Mr. Jadala,
Yes, Judge.
did you need something?
I have Miss Santia Hill. She's in the clerk waiting room. It's going to be a dismissal on a final pretrial. I'm just waiting for her to clear the clerk.
She's in the clerk's waiting room. I just saw her pop in there too. This is 240399 SM, State of Michigan versus Santia Hill. May I have your
This is-
appearances, please?
This is she. Good morning, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Ms. Hill.
Donna Soba on behalf of the people, P87439.
Thank you. This case was scheduled for final pretrial at 9:30. It's now 9:48 by this court's clock. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, with the complaining witnesses having failed to appear, we respect the request of dismissal on this matter.
Judge, at this time, the people don't object to the dismissal. The complaining victim in here has contacted the OIC and indicated that this is an old case that she's done with and no longer wants to deal with and does not want to move forward. Without her present, the people cannot move forward. So we have no objection to the dismissal.
Defense motion to dismiss is granted. Is there anything else in this matter, Ms. Soba?
Nothing further from the people, Judge.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Ma'am, you're free to go. Ms. Hill, you have a great day. Good luck to you. You have some other outstanding matters with the court?
I'm taking care of that. I'm in the process of taking care of that, Judge Martin.
Understood. Thank you much, ma'am. Have a good day.
You too as well. Thank you. You all stay blessed.
Thank you.
Goodbye now.
Ms. Soba. Let me
Yes,
get
Judge.
Miss. We have another 9:30 final pretrial where the complainant is, I'm sorry, the victim is present. The defendant is not present. I'm getting Miss Medina out. This is 240539 SM. This is,
Zachary Cooper?
yes.
Okay. Let me talk.
I'm
to
sorry,
you-
Miss Medina, I pulled you out because I see your name here. This case was scheduled for pretrial at 9:30. It's 9:50 by this court's clock, and Ms. Sanderlin, the complainant in this case, is here. Is this not your case, Ms. Medina?
Your Honor, I don't have any specific recollection, nor do I have it listed for today. It may have been an arraignment that I handled, and then it has my name on it, because that happens quite often, but let me check give me 1 second, Your Honor.
It's not, Ms. Medina. It's showing as your name on the ROA, but in the court file, it is just from the arraignment.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
So I understand if you take no position, but it was scheduled at 9:30, Ms. Soba, it's now 9:50. And with Ms. Sanderlin present, I didn't want her waiting any longer if we could avoid it.
And Your Honor, all I could do is indicate that I don't have any information as to why he's not here today, Your Honor.
The people have no objection to a brief adjournment until Ms. Medina figures out what's going on with him as her client or not, and then we can come back. Or do you want to like come back if it's okay with the judge?
Yeah,
In 30, 40 minutes, try to contact him so we can resolve it today.
I can look up the ROA and see what I can do. I'll give him a call. Give me a second.
Okay.
Thank
Can I
you.
please be put in a breakout room with the victim?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Judge.
Unless Mr. Jadala needed you for something.
No, Ms. Soba understands on the McGowan matter. We're setting it for a final pretrial. We've already talked about it, so.
That's correct. Well, for me, yes. And then for Jeffries, it'll be a pretrial and Bennett a trial. Okay.
Were you expecting Mr. McGowan to come out?
He was just here, Judge. I just moved him into the main session.
He's not. He's back in your, let me get him. He's in your breakout room.
Oh.
This is 240533 SM. This is State of Michigan versus Kevin McGowan.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Richardalla, P 62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. McGowan. Mr. McGowan, please say your name for the record. Unmute yourself and say your name, Mr. McGowan.
Hello?
Say your name, sir.
State your name,
Kevin
sir.
McGowan.
Thank you. Today's the day and time scheduled for pretrial. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, respectfully, we're asking for a final pretrial on the July 24th date. We could be given a time, that'd be great.
(9:00).
July 24th at 9 a.m. That will be by Zoom in number 3 with Judge Green. And before Mr. McGowan leaves, Mr. Jadala, I want to make you aware of the fact that the court has received a complaint violation of conditional release. Mr. McGowan is alleged to have had contact with law enforcement yesterday, 2 days ago now, July 1st at 5 p.m. So if you have not already had conversation with him about that, that might be something worth having a conversation about before it gets off the rails.
Understood, Judge.
Okay, other than that, today's case is scheduled for final pretrial. That concludes the matter for the morning.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. McGowan, you could log off.
Okay.
We have 24WM01385 A, B, and C. These are State of Michigan versus Otis Lamont McKinley III. These cases were scheduled for pre-hearing and arraignment pretrial at 9 a.m. It's now 9:57 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. There being no unidentified persons in this court's main session or in the breakout rooms, no one responding to the call. The A file, which is a civil infraction, will be deemed in default. The B and C files, misdemeanor matters, will be set for show cause arraignment pretrial. These are 0S381123 B and C. These are State of Michigan versus Deshaun Brewer. These cases were scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:30. It's now 9:59 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. There being no one by that name in this court's main session, someone's in the court's waiting room. Let's wait a minute. Good morning, sir.
Morning,
Your name, please?
Brian Ward.
Mr. Ward, we're waiting for Miss Elijah. If you sit tight, we'll get with you in just a moment.
Okay.
We're still on the record for Brewer. Defendant having failed to appear, this case being scheduled for show cause arraignment pretrial at 9:30, it being 10 a.m. by this court's clock. The matters will be set for show cause arraignment pretrial. Oh, I'll take that back. These cases are in warrant status. They will stay that way. See, Marianne, I told you.
Yes, you did.
Miss Medina, some update on Mr. Cooper?
Your Honor, I did leave a voicemail, and my assistant sent a text message, so we're just waiting to hear. I was just trying to guess if you said it would be a little quiet on July 3rd anyways.
Miss Elijah, Mr. Ward just joined us. Do you need to speak with him or do you need to speak to Miss Soba?
Can I speak to both of them, but it should only take a brief moment for both?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I just can't think of that person's name, Mary Ann. I think I have the number, but I just can't find it.
Yeah, and as soon as you say it, I'll go, yep, but, I'll follow through with that.
No, you know what? It makes more sense for me just to ask her. Hmm. Ms. Elijah, were you expecting Mr. Ward back out, or did you need Ms. Soba?
No, I've spoken to Ms. Soba. I would like to speak to Mr. Ward. He's in custody. I don't know if he's on Zoom yet, but
Oh, I thought you heard me say he was here when you first logged on, and he's in room 9 waiting for you. We'll get you moved in there. Marianne, I'm bringing files to you, but if the attorneys come, I'll be right back. Two three zero two eight one FY State of Michigan versus Byron Ward. I have your names for the record, please.
Brian Ward,
Ms. Soba on behalf of the people, P 87439.
and good morning to this court and your staff right before this holiday weekend. Emily Elijah, PA 5039.
Thank you, Ms. Elijah. Today is the day and time scheduled for arraignment pretrial in this matter. This case is in warrant status. The court recalls the warrant. Ms. Elijah, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we would waive formal reading of the arraignment and stand mute. Mr. Ward is currently incarcerated in FCI Milan. And so I'd ask for a nominal bond, but he's not slated to be released on this.
No objection from the people.
Thank you. Ms. Elijah, I'm just looking to see if there was a recommendation from the police department. I'm gonna take that as a no since I can't find it. What's nominal to you, Ms. Elijah?
$100 cash, Your Honor. This is possession with intent to deliver, but it is from 2020. So it's a late filing. I believe it was filed in 2023, but the incident is 2020.
So Vaughn is set at 1,010%.
Thank you. And as to the probable cause, Your Honor, I would ask for an adjourned PCC date. The people and I have discussed, and they are looking for digital discovery. Additionally, given Mr. Ward's position, given that he's already incarcerated, I'd like to email Mr. Bresnahan to see if there's a possibility of a resolution in this case.
Ms. Elijah, how long of an adjournment? 1, 2, or 3 weeks?
3 weeks, please, Your Honor.
3 weeks puts us on July the 24th.
At 9:15, Judge.
At 9:15 a.m. That will be by Zoom in number 3 with Judge Green. Was there anything else, Ms. Soba?
Nothing from the people, Judge.
Anything else, Ms. Elijah?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck to you, Mr. Ward. That concludes this matter for the day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And I will see you at 2 o'clock, Judge. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. 240539 SM. This is State of Michigan versus Zachary Cooper. Ms. Soba?
Yes, Judge.
I'm sorry. In the Cooper matter, Ms. Medina was correct. She was not the attorney of record. I know she's made efforts to be in contact with Mr. Cooper, but this case was scheduled at 9:30 and it's 10:14 by my clock. The complainant is here. How are we proceeding?
Judge, at this time, the people would ask for a KPS because the defendant is not here. He has not showed. His sister did indicate, the victim in this case is his sister. She indicated that last night he stole their father's truck and they have not been able to locate him or know his whereabouts. So the people ask for a bench warrant at this time.
And Your Honor, I would just reiterate that I was the attorney at arraignment stage. Unfortunately, I haven't had any contact with Mr. Cooper. And although I would like to be able to speak to his absence, I am unable to speak to his absence.
Thank you, Ms. Medina. The court would not expect you to. In reviewing the notes on July 18, 2024, you appeared purely as arraignment counsel. This court set bond at personal bond with no contact to the complainant, Ms. Sanderlin, and would have advised Mr. Cooper at least twice on the record that today was the pretrial date, July 3rd at 9:30. He's failed to appear. The court will issue a bench warrant in this matter at 5,010%. Is there anything else, Ms. Soba?
Nothing from the people, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Sanderlin, thank you for appearing this morning. That concludes that matter. You're free to go.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You're welcome. And then is Mr. Jadala still here?
It doesn't appear so, Judge.
We had one last case before we take our morning recess. This is 240402 SD. This was State of Michigan versus Dorian Jeffries.
Yes, Judge. I believe that's with Mr. Jadlala. We were going to set it for a pretrial.
I'd be happy to, except his client is not here and he's not here. Is it your position, ma'am, that that was the agreement that you reached with Mr. Jadala before he logged off?
Yes, Judge.
How long were you looking to have that set?
About 3 weeks, so he can reach out to Chief Bresnahan and see if there could be a potential offer.
I'll make a notation in the file that that was the conversation. We will adjourn the pretrial over to July the 24th at
9 o'clock.
Thank you,
9
Judge.
a.m. That being the case, all the cases scheduled for the morning docket. What's wrong, Ms. Medina?
Your Honor, I was honestly just looking at my calendar. Is my is my face reflecting? I was just looking ahead at my calendar, listening. Sorry, but
No, you're fine. You just look startled.
what
You-
is
that
startling?
conclude-
It's a blessing that's startling. A startling blessing.
That concludes this course docket for the morning. We will stand in recess until our 11:30 exams. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
And thank you so much, Your Honor. You will have a very blessed weekend, okay?
You too. Don't let
You too.
that-
Have fun with your family, ma'am.
Don't let your calendar
you very
stress you
much.
too much.
I know, I was just like, whoa, whoa. Thank you.
Do you want me to shut it down?
Yes, ma'am, since we'll be gone for a little over an hour. Thanks, Carol.